Hey, how's it going? My name is Efren. I own and operate Native Scenery Landscapes. We're a full service landscape maintenance company here in Austin, Texas. And these videos are sort of my business vlogs, journey, lessons learned. And my goal is to just put it out there to help me really just organize my thoughts, and maybe someone watching this can relate to it. If anybody has questions, drop a comment and I will for sure answer with a video. Anyway, the reason I wanted to get on here today was to talk about I am a fire queen ant. What does that even mean? Well, I let me start with this. I had to renew my commercial applicator license. Basically, if you are a business that's putting down fertilizer, herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, you need to have a license by the Texas Department of Agriculture, and you have to renew it every year. So I did that last week. I went to a class. It's a CEU class, continuing education, and you sit down all day and they teach you about certain topics. One speaker was specifically on fire ant control, which here in Texas is a thing, and it's something I'm learning about. And one of the aspects of that conversation or of that presentation was sort of the learn about the fire ants. And what I didn't know, and I'll share with you, is that there's a fire ant queen, right? And then a fire ant male. They get together, they hook up, the male dies, and then the queen is not pregnant and goes and finds a place to. They had wings. She shreds her wings, then she goes and finds a place to have her nest. It's just one ant, and it's a big ass ant too. One ant, one fire ant queen. They can lay up to 1,000 eggs per day, which is a fuck ton of eggs. But in those beginning days of that colony, it's just one ant doing the laying the eggs, caring for them, moving them around, foraging, building the nest, taking care of herself. Like all that comes down to just the queen ant. So she's not even sleeping probably, if ants even do sleep. And she's doing that, grinding it out until that first batch of ants hatches, and they can now sort of take over some of the responsibilities. But from like laying the egg to where fully matured, it can take up to 3 weeks, which in a fire ant's lifespan, I could be wrong, but I think a queen can live up to 5 years. So 3 weeks out of 5 years is like a huge chunk compared to our lifespan. So I'm not gonna, let's just guess. I'm gonna say that 3 weeks is our 3 years, for example. For those first 3 years, she's working by herself, taking care of these fucking kids, getting food on the table, protecting them, moving things around because weather, rain, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's a lonely, miserable, horrendous life because, and she does it because if she makes it to the other side of 3 weeks, got that first batch of eggs that are hatched and fully mature, ready to help, she now gets to just chill the fuck out and just have more babies. And I thought, damn, I'm a fire ant queen, which sounds crazy. But like, what do I mean by that? Well, it's in the beginning, I don't have anybody. It's just me. Yeah, I might have like a guy that helps me here and there, but in regards to management and building a business, it's really just me. I'm the only one pushing this forward, following up with clients, making sure we get paid, making sure we bill out, making sure things are getting fulfilled, making sure equipment is getting taken care of. What else? What other constraint is there? Hey, how are you doing today? Hey, I know you're having a kid soon. Let's talk about when you're going to have some time off. Like everything is 1,000% on me, and it's 8 years, or let's just right, it's 8 years now. Yeah, let's just say 8 years where I'm pushing this forward with 100% of my effort. And the thing is, I never laid eggs. The queen ant laid eggs, so she has something already kind of like, all right, if I just make it through these 3 weeks, I can finally get some help. And now I'm not doing 11 things at once. I'm doing now 8 or whatever. I never laid any eggs. I never had something in place to help me in the future to take on some of these responsibilities. And I just totally related to that presentation of the fire ants. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm a fire ant queen. It's just me. And what I need to do is I don't lay eggs, but what I need to do is put in place a system to where I could essentially a hiring and training system so I can get that first batch of helpers to now help me with some of these things. I can offload some of these responsibilities to them, and I can now, instead of, I can then continue doing that. It becomes exponential. It could be like in the beginning I can only dedicate 5% of my time to training and hiring. Then the first batch of employees comes in, and now I go from 5 to maybe 15% of my time can be dedicated to training and hiring, or hiring and training. Then the second batch comes in. Now it becomes 30%. Like incrementally, it becomes full time to where it's not like I can dedicate a lot of my time and as much time as I have to dedicated to hiring and firing. So I never got anything in place, no system in place to get me to that point. That fire ant queen, she laid eggs and she had something in place to eventually it's gonna pay off. I didn't. So that leads me to today's video. It's a big story, all summarized to this. Team management is now the next hurdle I need to understand. First, it was field stuff. What grass is this? What pest is this? How do I mow it? How do I clean things up? Just real tactical things where a lot of business owners, I think, get stuck at in the day-to-day operations. Then it was, which for me, very, very recently, just a couple weeks ago, hiring. Like, that's the next thing. I did it. I got annoyed about it. Now I feel like I can just pull that lever whenever I need it. But when you hire them, they don't just come ready, turnkey, out of the box, ready to work and know everything you're doing. Training, that's where I am currently at. And now training, I'm going to break it down into 2 subcategories: team management and team development. They sound similar, but I consider them so powerful that individually that I'm going to separate them. It's under the same umbrella term, I think, but I'm going to separate them. So let's start with team management because I think that's important first. Team management is going to be more on the structure of your systems and processes of your company, of how you want things to be done, how you want to organize things, like how many people per crew, what time to show up, what's what equipment wise and what to use, and just all the lanes kind of organized to shuttle the people wherever they need to go. They don't have to really think too much. They just follow this path. Team management. And I need to take some time to be more adamant about that, like start time, clocking in, and how to go about routes, how to ask for things, how to just a structure. I don't have a basic structure. And actually, I'm going to write that down. Oh, what the hell? Structure. How do you get this? Well, it's not the one I wanted. Well, anyway, structure. That's what I need. Once I have a strong structure or a strong management template, let's just say, I think now I have the ability to move into team development. And what does that mean? What to me it means, that is all over the place. To me, it means education, training, let's say Ricardo up into this is how you use a mower. This is how we do things around here. This is the type of grass you're working with. These are what the plants are called. This is how you put in a tree or whatever. Education, it could be, it's just similar, but it's in skill set, like welding. I had the guys, me and the two guys that I'm with, I bought us all tickets to go take a welding class. It was a full day thing, and we got to learn some people who weld for a living and learn some tips and tricks and some best practices. Team development can also be monetary, so money. If I develop my team in education skill set and I'm bringing them up, and they're not, now more valuable just for us, then pay them more. We're going to give you $1 raise, or we're going to whatever it is. That's kind of the last thing. I think education and skill set is important before money. And actually, before money, I'm going to put in. You have to keep in mind, you have to have a barrier or some type of something in place between you, the owner, and the employees. And but don't get me twisted. You can still have a relationship with them. You can still care about them, and you can still want what's best for them. So team development to me means pouring into their education, pouring into their skill set, their abilities, pouring into that relationship. A lot of times your employees are going to be married. What do their spouses do? What kind of goals do they have? How are their kids doing? Like, that's their world. Why wouldn't you want to be? I'm not gonna say invested slash like just aware of it. It's in everybody's best interest. I'm not doing it because I need more output. It's just part of the pie. It's a slice out of the whole pie here. We're part of a team, and things are intertwined, and this is just part of it. I don't have to know all the fucking drama, right? Like, I don't need to know what your cousin or your aunt or your sister, like, that doesn't matter. It's got to be really just related to us here now. How can I help? And then lastly, in money, and that's just going to be dependent on what that means. Is someone having a rough time, and let me give you a good example. I have an employee that is about to go, his wife is about to have a baby here in the next couple of weeks, and we had a slow last month, so money has been, I'm assuming for them, tight. She's always going to stop working. He's going to stop working. So what I am going to do is I'm going to give him 40 hours, a 40-hour work week. So he'll see it on his next paycheck, and it'll come in just in time. So he can take the week off and just be with his wife and the newborn, and kind of like that's up to them to figure out how they're going to live this new lifestyle now. But anyway, it doesn't always have to be just like a pay raise. It could be something else, helping someone out. Now, caveat is, you can't help others if you can't help yourself. I have the ability right now to give 40 hours at his pay rate. I can give him that right now. If we were in a different scenario where I had no money, I didn't have the means to do that, then obviously I wouldn't do that. But since that's not the case, and I can right now for him in this specific scenario, that's a way that I am developing my team. So anyway, that's a whole lot of little things. In general, I'm moving from, my mindset is moving from being completely occupied by tactical owner operative tasks, day-to-day fires, to now bigger, like outside the box orchestra composer type of mentality. And I think I'm just at the very start of this, and I'm excited. I think by the next video, I'll have some information on how our new hire has done. Just a quick recap: I hired someone, fired him the next day. Luckily, I was able to reach out to one of our other applicants that I really liked as well, and he was still available. So I told him, hey, if it's good for you, let's start on Monday. That's tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. And regarding to management, this is where I'm at. Before I start developing on all this fucking stuff, It's structure, it's team management, it's training. Let me put that in there. Training. Well, anyway, so if you have any questions, if you're dealing with something similar, or if you're ahead of me and you have some insight, please let me know. Just leave a comment on the video. I will read it, and I will 99% sure most likely make a video on that topic or question. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.